Gun was the avatar who lived during the Ru Ming era, long before Yang Chen's time. Avatar Gun had a close companion in Misose, a poet and engineer whom they nicknamed Seisei. The latter would write treatises, and Gun liked to read or listen to these texts. Over the course of their adventures, Gun grew increasingly disdainful of humanity. The Avatar felt that people would always demand more aid despite being ungrateful for the aid already given, while also repeatedly making the same mistakes over and over again. In such moments of doubt, Misose tried to calm Gun down. Eventually, Gun and Misose found themselves at the harbor city of Han when it was hit by a tsunami. Gun attempted to try and stop the natural disaster, but they could only weaken it. Large parts of Han were destroyed, and Misose died in the flood despite Gun's effort at saving the scholar. Devastated at this loss, Gun disappeared for an extended period of time before resuming their duties as the Avatar. Gun was recorded as failing to stop the tsunami at Han, even though the city survived and would eventually prosper again. Jetsoon would speculate that Gun themselves had demanded that this incident be labeled as a failure of theirs, considering that they had lost Misose. Eventually, an 8-year-old Yang Chen, possessed by Gun, would relive the day when Misose died. About 9 years later, Gun again would possess Yang Chen as she was resting on a small island in the northern city. This time, Gun's disdain for humanity came to the fore as the long-dead Avatar implored their companion, mistaking Kavik for Misose, to tell them why the Avatar should care any longer about all the ungrateful and short-sighted humans. When Kavik could only offer hope in the betterment of humanity as a reason, Gun started to madly laugh until Yang Chen snapped out of the possession. Gun lived in the Ru Ming era, which was first featured as part of Wan Xing Tong's calendar in the library. Based on the calendar system, Gun may have been a water avatar if the era names do indeed correspond to avatars. If Gun's Ru Ming era was the most recent one, then that means, as suggested by Siring's familiarity with the topic, they lived 3 avatar generations before Yang Chen. When Gun possessed Yang Chen, Kavik felt that the Air Avatar suddenly seemed decades older. If this impression correctly reflects Gun's age, they were at least in their 40s or 50s by the time of Misose's death.